Superlights returns for another series here in 2024, the second tier of the GPVWC career ladder. And as it was in 2023, this season is set to once again be fantastic. Road to Formula Racing. Returning for their third season in Superlights are defending champions Road to Formula, who won 10 races last season and launched Owen McGorgy to a dominant driver's title. Team owner Sandeep Singh remains in the driving seat once more in his 10th year in GPV. Last year saw him take a win in Abu Dhabi along with 2 more podiums on the way to 4th in the points table. The Indian driver is incredibly consistent, rarely ever finishing outside the top 5. His teammate is Frenchman Alex Lahoe, who could not be more of a contrast. Lahoe did 4 Superlights races at the start of 2023 for Red Hour Racing, where he scored some solid points before this collision in Baku landed him in hot water. His FF1 season for TCF's off racing saw him take a win, 2 pole positions and 7 fastest laps on the way to 10th in the points. However, Lahoe developed a habit of being fast but fragile, often crashing out from podium positions. Nonetheless, his speed has never been in doubt, and RTF signing him is a big show of confidence, one that could very well pay off. Valet Esports. The yellow Italian outfit return after missing out on 5th in last season's standings by just 2 points. This year, they've signed Englishman Joseph Herlock, who finished on the podium for Red Arrow Racing in Germany, and Canada on his way to 9th in the standings. He has a lot of bad luck and disconnections last year, which he'll be hoping won't befall him this season. Joining him is Italian Alessandro Maggio, who did 4 races for Valle last season, taking pole position in Interlagos and finishing 3 races in the points with a best of 4th in Monza. He's also competed and won for Valle in FSR Academy, a trend that Maggio aims to continue. Nicknamed the Magic Man after his prodigious progress through the GPV ladder last year, he could well be a threat for podiums and wins this season. Gallery 82 Motorsport. The plucky underdogs from Roosendaal in the Netherlands are back for their second season in Superlights after placing 7th last year. Alexander Ragotza returns to lead the team after placing 8th in the previous season. Best result for the FS1 race winner was 4th in Canada. Joining him is fellow Polish driver Michał Gałka, who competed in 9 races for PZZW last season with a best result of 10th in Brazil. Will the season's results end up being framed in the Louvre Gallery, or will it instead end up being covered in soup? TTF Racing. Tyrone Frith's London-based team enters its 6th campaign in Superlights after placing 8th last season. Czech driver Jan Sikora joined the team midway through 2023 and incredibly finished all 8 of his races inside the points, the peak being a 5th in Belgium. He's been retained for this year alongside Italian Davide Zanini, who showed some solid pace in Academy but only finished 1 of his 4 races for the team last year in a lowly 17th. Less crashes, more consistency needed for the Zanini Panini. Drake Racing. Hailing from Hirwan in Wales, Ben Willis's team has a proud history in GPV, stretching back to 2010 when they won the FS1 title. After 3 tough years, 2023 was their best season yet in Superlights as they came within 2 points of beating TTF to 8th, the highlight being Loic Moynier's podium at Suzuka. Seasoned Dutch competitor Tom van der Voort enters his 3rd season for the team, looking to improve on his 6 points finishes from both 2022 and again in 2023. Alongside him will be the Czech driver Jan Dragoon, coming off of a solid half season in FS1 for Rowan GP, in which he won the reverse grid race in Baku before taking 2 more podiums at Silverstone and then the Hungaroring. Dragoon is definitely one of the more underrated drivers on the grid and could help awaken the Welsh Dragon from its slumber. Fusion Racing. Jack Sharman's black and gold British squad started out 2023 well with 2 podiums for Liam Duval before the Dutchman's interest quickly petered out and the team fell to 10th in the points. Staying with the team is Dutch stalwart Remco de Jeu, who was in the points on 4 occasions and unfortunately retired from 8 races, including this dramatic crash at Monza last year. This season, he's joined by Canada's Maxime Bulliot, fresh off a fantastic FS2 campaign last year for Optimal, in which he finished runner-up to champion Luke Mitchell. An incredibly determined and consistent driver, he'll be looking to add to the 5 points he scored for Fusion in Singapore and Abu Dhabi last year. PZZW Racing Team. Owned by Gallery 82's Alexander Ragocha, the PZZW team had a woeful debut in Superlights last season, placing 12th with just 16 points to their name. Canada's Purgis Miron returns after 3 unspectacular, unpointless outings for the Polish outfit last year. Joining him will be Slovakia's Denis Urban, who finished 4th in last year's VRN F1 Championship, but is a newcomer to GPV. Spark Racing Team. The first of our promoted outfits to Superlights is the German Spark team, 3rd place in FS1 last season with 4 victories. Team owner Vincent Gutt stays in the driver lineup after his immense consistency meant that he finished all but 3 races in the points in 2023, along with taking 3 podiums in the back half of the year. Joining him is England's reigning FS1 champion Jack Mayer, who took 8 wins and 17 podiums in an excellent showing in 2023 to build on his FS2 title the previous year. He also finished top 8 in the Superlights points and has taken 3 podiums already. The biggest threat? Well, he says he's not really focusing on racing this year. Do you believe him? I don't. True North Motorsport. Carter McCormick's outfit, formerly known as TCS Off Racing, now fully embraces its Canadian heritage with their new branding. Last year, they were 5th in FS1 after finishing runner-up in the season prior, and it's all change in the driver lineup. Poland's Maciej Hyler had a strong run to 9th in FS1 last year for Parallax Volpino, taking 6 podiums, 2 of them reverse grid victories. Joining him will be countryman Mateusz Pichkan, who was 15th in the FS2 points last year and won the reverse grid race at Monza. Alpha Sierra Simracing. Owned by Fusion's Tom van der Voort, Alpha Sierra are the reigning FS2 champions and have decided to leapfrog up to Superlights in 2024. Leading the charge is 2021 Ukrainian Simracing champion and 3-time Ukrainian karting vice champion Dominik Koroshavin, who scored 7 points finishes for Ballas Esports last season, with the best finished of 9th in Hungary. He'll be joined by Bulgarian Chris Gitsov, a valet driver who returns to GPV after a year sabbatical. His best finish was 14th for Black Hawk Racing at Silverstone in 2022. Red Ven Racing. The 2022 FS2 champions were runners-up to Alpha Sierra last season, and the German outfit follows them up to Superlights. Team owner Steven Lexau gets back behind the wheel for the first time since finishing 4th in the points in FS2 in 2022 with 3 victories to his name. That year, he also subbed in for Super Venturi at Singapore, where he finished an impressive 7th. Slovakian Tomas Kutka will join him after showing some strong results and a win in Academy, but he lacks experience at this level and could find himself with a lot to learn. Chaos. Finally, the Superlights grid is completed by a new team to the GPV ladder, keen to add their own unique brand of mischief and mayhem. The German Chaos team is owned by lead driver and Super League race winner Florian Geyer, who enters Superlights after 10 seasons at the top level. His best year was 2016, where he was 3rd in the points, but in 2023 he could only score 2 points for Mode Auto Concepts. Perhaps the time is right for him to reinvent himself in the 2nd tier. Rounding out the field will be his countryman David Wasserman, a man with a fearsome reputation who walked on water in last year's FS2 season finale to win an Interlagos. He also has 11 starts in Superlights to his name already, with the best finish of 5th for Valet in Abu Dhabi last year.